All right. Yo. Good morning to everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Maybe it's good afternoon, wherever you happen to be watching from. I appreciate you being here. My name's CJ. This is the CJ Curry Show. It's presented by PrizePicks. PrizePicks still doing a 100% instant deposit match on your first deposit all the way up to $100. All right, dollar for dollar up to $100, making your first entry on PrizePicks completely risk-free. Use promo code Curry to take advantage of this offer. There's a link down in the description below. If you don't already play on PrizePicks, it's daily fantasy made easy, gang. You pick your favorite players. You pick your favorite projections. You choose the more, the less, the over, the under, all right? And you can win up to 10 times your money in one night. You guys know how it goes. Appreciate everybody being here. I see a lot of folks up in the chat. How did yesterday go for you? Let me know, chat. Did you guys win some money? Did you guys lose a little money? Did you guys break even? It was kind of a break even type of night for me. Decent night, all right? Could have done better. But we're going to look to get it back today. It's Taco Tuesday over on PrizePicks. So just another reason why you should be playing on PrizePicks, gang. Taco Tuesday, in case you're unfamiliar with what that is, they're going to be discounting different player projections throughout the day across different leagues, different sports, all right? So it gives us an opportunity to take advantage of a softer line, we'll call it, a softer projection, which could lead to an easier win, not a guaranteed win. These tacos are not meant to be free squares. I will definitely reiterate that for all of you who think, oh, it's a taco, it's got to hit. No, it doesn't always hit. Definitely not a free square, but the tacos are a welcome addition to our week, especially on Taco Tuesday. You know what I mean? We like getting those discounts. So going through the chat real quick, appreciate all of you guys for subscribing, for liking. I'm continuing to give away a free entry a day. That free entry is a 2-pick power play. You get both of those picks right, you win $100 on PrizePicks. All you have to do is make sure you're a subscriber, make sure you've liked today's live stream, and once the replay goes live on YouTube, you guys go and leave a comment in the comments section with your favorite pick of the day. All right? Automatically entered to win. Subscribe, like, leave a comment on the replay with your favorite pick of the day. Maybe you'll help somebody out. Maybe a community member will see your comment, they'll tail your pick, and you'll lead them to success, to victory, to profits. All right? So that's how you win that risk-free 2-pick power play to score yourself $100. I'm giving one away a day here on the show. Mitchell, shout out to you. Speaking of, Mitchell won yesterday's giveaway. I reached out to Mitchell. I said, Mitchell, you won. You were randomly selected. Please DM me on Twitter. So I will respond to your DM. Mitchell, I saw that you did DM me to claim your prize. Appreciate you for supporting, for showing up, and for tuning in and rocking with me every day. All right, running through the rest of the chat here. We got Bearded Gator. He says, what's up, gang? He's liking some Sabonis points. He's liking some Anthony Simons points. He's liking some Julius Randle points. That's the favorite 3 that he's seen. He's also liking some Mike Conley assists. All right, we'll take a look at those. Roy's in the building. Shout out to you. Thanks for being here, Roy. He's liking Sabonis under 18.5 points versus the Nets. Just 1 for 5. All right, we'll get into some of your picks in just a bit. We're going to use props.cash today to kind of dig through some of the trends, who's been hitting at a high clip. We're going to look at the matchups. We're going to try to find some winning picks, all right? Jeremy Jacobson says he loves them tacos. No limits in the building. Bounce back Taco Tuesday. Let's get it. Love the energy. Grayson's in the building. Gave me some straight red yesterday. Yeah, straight red yesterday. Hey, that's the way it goes, right? We got our highs and our lows in this game that we play. We got to stay even keel. We got to have bankroll management. We got to have discipline if we're going to do this over the long haul, right? Can't get too wrapped up in one bad day. You got to try to win the week, win the month even. Start thinking about the macro and less about the micro, all right? Yesterday was a bad day, but hey, get back in the green today. It's a new day, new opportunity. That's why you don't blow your entire bankroll in one day, right? Yesterday was definitely tough, though. If you did struggle yesterday, trust me, you weren't alone. You kind of take the temperature across the industry, different people who put out picks, who play picks. Listen, it was kind of bad yesterday, all right? You weren't alone if you had a bad day. Running through here, Everyday Fantasy says, what to do, my good peoples? Let's do it again today. You flex, I flex back. Good to have you here, Mr. Everyday Fantasy. Denim Banks says, yo, back at you, my friend. Mike from the Fords is in the building. Shout out to you, Mike. Thanks for being here. Jeremy says that curry taco from last week was straight garbage. Yeah, I think Curry sold us twice now on his tacos. Maybe we don't vote for a curry taco anymore. Joseph says PG-13 played like dog crap yesterday. Well, he's back on the court again tonight. Maybe he picks it up. Maybe he plays a little bit better tonight. Ronald West says he had himself a rough night. Constant Dew Drinker 88. Who are the locks? You already know who the locks are. That's Sheik Luch, Styles P, and Jada Kiss, my friend. Look them up. All right? Some of the best rap music you'll ever hear. Some of the best bars you'll ever hear in hip-hop, all right? That's the locks. Sed's in the building. He says, peace. Trill Fate's in the building as well. We got 8 gang. Who got the taco today? I don't know about the tacos yet. I haven't seen anything about the tacos. Desmond Bane's going to be out for a couple weeks. Ooh, that's big news. Big news. All right, gang. Let's move on here. Let's play some Poeltl. Let's figure out who the mystery player is today. All right. Our thumbnail player of the day is Zion Williamson. Let's make him our first guess on Poeltl. We're trying to figure out who the mystery player is. All right. It's not Zion Williamson. I can promise you that. In fact, this player does not play for the New Orleans Pelicans whatsoever, but is, however, in the Western Conference, but not in the Southwest Division. Not a forward. This player is going to be shorter than 6'6", older than 22 years old, and they're going to have a jersey number that's going to be higher than the number 1. So, who do we think it is? Jeremy Jacobson saying Dame time. Chris United saying, what about Chris Paul? I'm seeing some Kevin Huerter being guessed. We could go with Chris Paul. Chris Paul's shorter than 6'6". He's not a forward. He's older than 22. His jersey number is higher than number 1. I don't think Chris Paul would be the worst guess in the world. Let's go CP3. Why not? All right, it gets us a little bit closer. So we know that this player is now in the Pacific Division, is in fact a guard, but is taller than 6 foot. So Chris Paul, a little bit on the short side. He's coming up on the short end of the stick here. He's 37 years old. So now we know that this player's age range is somewhere between 22 and 37. Jersey number, though, got to be one that's higher than number 3. All right. Chris Paul's jersey's not high enough. Jeremy's saying, what about Dame time? Damian Lillard. We could go Damian Lillard. I guess Damian Lillard wouldn't be bad, right? I believe he's in the same. Oh, no, he's in the Northwest Division. Duh. All right, so it's not Damian Lillard. We got to go back to the Pacific Division. But we're getting closer with the height. He's 6'2", is Damian Lillard. He's 32 years old. So whoever this player is indeed a veteran player. This player has been around a while. Jersey number for Dame, too low. That was, not the best guess. We shouldn't have went with Damian Lillard. Who else you guys got? I'm looking here. Kevin Huerter? Kevin Huerter. I don't think Kevin Huerter is 32 years old. I think he's a little younger, on the younger side, right? Still in his 20s. So I'm going to say it's probably not Kevin Huerter. Probably not De'Aaron Fox. This player is going to be a veteran. A veteran. You guys are saying Westbrook. The problem with Westbrook is he wears jersey number 0. So does Damian Lillard. And we know that this jersey number has to be a number that's higher than 3. I don't think Conley's in the right division. Mike Conley? Maybe. Let's look at Mike Conley real quick. No, he's not in the right division. Damn it. I knew that. Conley a little too old. He's 35 years old. But the jersey number, there we go. We got an exact match on the jersey number. Number 11. You guys are saying Reggie Jackson. I don't think Reggie Jackson's 32 years old. Maybe he is, though. Maybe he is. Let's look at it. Reggie Jackson. Damn. Reggie Jackson was a very good guess. I mean, this is about as close of a guess as you're going to get. All right, we know this player plays for the Clippers, gang. We have figured that out. We have narrowed it down. This is a Los Angeles Clippers player who is a guard. So who do you have? You got like Norman Powell, maybe? You guys are saying John Wall. I think you might be right, actually. I don't think Norman Powell's quite old enough. Powell has been in the league for a while. Let's look at the silhouette. Oh, that's John Wall all day, right? He's got kind of that slim peanut head looking. Yeah, I think this is John Wall. I think you guys are right. That's definitely not Norman Powell. All right. We know this is a Clipper. John Wall, number 11, Los Angeles Clippers. We got it. 6 guesses it took us, but we got there, gang. We got there. Shout out to John Wall. Newest member of the Los Angeles Clippers joined him this season. Western Division, Pacific. Our Western Conference Pacific Division guard, 6'3". He's 32 years old. Jersey number 11. Bang. You guys got it, man. Shout out to all the John Wall guessers out there. All right, let's take a look at today's NBA slate. We got a total of, 5 games? Yeah, it looks like 5 games. Let's refresh here, make sure we have all the latest injury news and info. News is always dropping around the clock. Appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you're subscribed, notifications turned on, slap the like button. Let's run those likes up so that this video gets pushed out in the YouTube algorithms to as many people as possible. We're trying to grow the community, get to 7,000 subscribers, and I can only do it with your help. I can't do it myself, unfortunately. All right, big news from the Memphis-New Orleans game. A couple of big pieces of news here, especially on the Memphis side. So, as somebody mentioned, Desmond Bane is going to be out for a couple of weeks. Let's just click on his name real quick. Let's confirm that this information is true. We don't like fake news. Bane has suffered a grade 2 sprain of his right big toe versus the Minnesota Timberwolves and will be sidelined for 2 to 3 weeks. Woo! That sucks. It looks like John Concar is probably going to be in the starting lineup. Desmond Bane will not be back probably until December. Somewhere around December. So that is a big blow for the Memphis Grizzlies. All right, so he's out. But the other big news for Memphis is that while Desmond Bane may be leaving the starting lineup and be out for a while, Jaren Jackson Jr. is making his season debut tonight against the New Orleans Pelicans. And it couldn't come at a better time, right? They're going up against NOP. They're going to need the length, the defense of Jaren Jackson Jr. against Zion Williamson, Jonas Valanciunas, Brandon Ingram, right? So he will be a welcome addition to the Memphis Grizzlies front court rotation. So Jaren Jackson Jr. making his debut tonight. Desmond Bane out for Memphis. So things definitely getting shaken up for the Memphis Grizzlies. On the other side, New Orleans, keep an eye on Zion Williamson. He is considered to be a game time decision. He is truly, truly a coin flip. His status for tonight is up in the air, but he's dealing with a right foot / ankle sprain. He is questionable. I hope he plays tonight. It's been a long time since we saw Ja Morant and Zion Williamson face off. I think it's been over a year now since the last time they took the court together, faced off against each other. I want to see these guys play each other. Please, Zion, do what you got to do. Get out there tonight. Anyway, this game has a nice total of 229. 3.5 point spread favoring the Pelicans. 8:30 tip-off between the Clippers and Mavericks. This one, a pretty low-scoring game, just 212 points, 7-point spread. John Wall's a game-time decision. He was the Poeltl player of the game, or player of the day. Kawhi Leonard, also a game-time decision. We haven't seen these guys for the last couple of games. Kawhi, I don't know what's going on with Kawhi. Does Kawhi like playing basketball anymore? I mean, can we still consider him a basketball player? I mean, this dude shows up, seems like he plays when he wants. I mean, what's going on with Kawhi Leonard? I'm kind of getting frustrated as an NBA fan not seeing Kawhi out on the floor. I mean, is he hurt? Are they babying him? Are they nursing him? I mean, this guy was taking rest days a couple seasons ago. I mean, we just have seen more in Kawhi Leonard in a suit than we have in a jersey lately, it seems like. I don't know. I'd like to see more Kawhi Leonard. I'm just saying. For the Dallas Mavericks, Reggie Bullock is a game-time decision. 212 points, so very low scoring. Looks like Dallas might win this game, but it really depends on if Wall and Leonard are good to go or not. Speaking of good to go, New York Knicks at the Utah Jazz. Mitchell Robinson is not good to go. He continues to sit out for the New York Knicks, meaning Isaiah Hartenstein or Jericho, what's his face? I can't think. Sims. Jericho Sims might end up being the starting center. We'll have to wait and see on that, but huge total on this game, 231 points, just a 5-point spread. This is probably the highest scoring game of the night. Yeah, the highest scoring game of the night, highest projected total of the night at 231 points. Utah not really dealing with any injuries. They got a strong record at 10-5. One of the more surprising teams from the early stages of the season. 10 p.m. tip-off. We're getting into some of these late West Coast games. San Antonio at Portland. San Antonio on the second leg of a back-to-back. Trey Jones did not play last night, but he is a game-time decision to play tonight. So keep an eye on Trey Jones. Outside of him, the injury news for San Antonio, these guys aren't really impactful. I mean, maybe Romeo Langford, you got Branham on the list, but nothing too crazy happening outside of Trey Jones. He would probably be the most impactful one. Over on the Portland side, we've got Johnson, Nurkic, Winslow, Payton, all game time decisions. Obviously, Nurkic would be a big one there. If he is out, then easier time for Jakob Poeltl on the other side for San Antonio. But 226-point total, 8-point spread. Looks like it's going to be one of the higher scoring games. But the spread does worry me a little bit. could creep into a potential blowout. And then last but not least, we've got Brooklyn at Sacramento. Another fun game here because this one does have a nice total at 226.5. And the spread is just 2 points, meaning Vegas thinks this game stays close and competitive, which is what we like to see, especially if we're taking overs. If we're taking the more on some of these player projections on PrizePicks. Keep an eye on Nick Claxton, game time decision. Seth Curry, game time decision. Ben Simmons, game time decision. We know that Kyrie Irving is still serving that suspension. He's going to be out tonight. But having Seth Curry and Ben Simmons would be huge for the Brooklyn Nets. On the flip side, Sacramento not really dealing with any injuries. They're going to have their core starting five: Fox, Herter, Barnes, Murray, and Sabonis. I like some Sabonis tonight against Brooklyn. Seems like a good matchup. All right, so let's get into today's player props. And we're going to use props.cash to help us with our research. Thank you so much for everybody joining me here live today. Hit subscribe, turn notifications on, run those likes up. I'm giving away a free entry to win $100. So once the replay of this goes up, you leave a comment on YouTube with your favorite pick of the day. Guys, I'm going to pick one of you guys randomly to win that free entry. All right, so let's go split screen mode here. We'll get our PrizePicks flexed out to the right side. We'll get our props.cash loaded up. Props.cash, we're going to be diving into props.cash trends today for the NBA. We're going to be looking for high hit rate players who are in good matchups using props.cash. 25% off your first month. If you're not a props.cash member, if you've never used it before, your first month, 25% off with code Curry. I've left a link down in the description below. And as I mentioned before, PrizePicks still doing their 100% instant deposit match with code Curry as well. So let's get logged into props.cash here. We'll start taking a look at some of the trends. I've got two different windows open. I'll show you why I've got two different windows open using props.cash in just a moment. We're going to be flipping back and forth between these two tabs. All right, so while that gets loaded up, first thing I want to do, I'm going to show you guys how to kind of use props.cash to help you with your player prop research, to kind of take some shortcuts, to try and like cut down your prop research time. They've got a fantastic trends page, this NBA player prop trends page. Let's go game by game. Let's go prop by prop category. Some of you guys mentioned, hey, I like when you used to go, game by game, prop by prop. All right, so let's do that. Memphis at New Orleans. We've only got one player up on the board right now, and it's Ja Morant. He's at 28.5 points. You could switch between categories here. You could go from points to assists. He's got a 42% hit rate on his assists. New Orleans does give up quite a few assists, so maybe Ja Morant's assists could be in play. No Desmond Bane, right? Does that help or hurt Ja Morant? We could actually look at Ja Morant real quick. So let's do that. Let's pull Ja Morant up. Desmond Bane's going to be out for the next couple of weeks. What does that mean for Ja? Well, we're going to go all the way back to last season. We're going to pull Desmond Bane off the floor here, and you guys can kind of get an idea of which props seem to hit at the highest rates for Ja Morant when Desmond Bane is out of the lineup. Now, these are his points at 28.5 points. We got a 5-game sample size, 5 games played dating back to last season. Ja Morant without Desmond Bane, right? Here's what you got. 4 for 5, 80% hit rate. He's averaging 33 points per game in that 5-game span without Desmond Bane. Now, there is one game from this season, which was against the Utah Jazz, in which Ja Morant played without Bane. 37 points against Utah in that game. So he's gone over in 4 out of 5, 33 point per game average. He's sitting at 28.5 points today going up against New Orleans. The matchup is okay. It's not the best matchup, but it's not a bad matchup whatsoever. He's going to be matched up with CJ McCollum more than likely. I don't know if they're going to put it, somebody else on him defensively, Ingram, Herb Jones. I don't know. We don't know yet. But as far as the metrics here for the New Orleans Pelicans, things looking pretty good here for Ja. But yeah, 4 out of 5 on his points. So maybe you look for a points prop for Ja Morant. What about Ja for assists or rebounds without Desmond Bane? Well, he's gone over his rebounds. His rebound line is set at 5. All right, so we bump this down to, let's just call it 4.5. He's actually hit 5 or more rebounds in every single game dating back to last season without Desmond Bane, right? 9 boards, 8 boards, 6 boards, 13 boards against Dallas, 5 against Utah. So that would be a tie or a push. All right, so he's had 5 or more rebounds in all 5 games dating back to last season without Bane. So that's looking pretty good too. That's actually maybe a little safer way to go without Desmond Bane. We could go from rebounds to assists. His assists are at 7.5 today. Now, you take a look at this and you're like, maybe we should be going under on the assists for Ja Morant. He's gone over his assist prop in just 1 out of 5 games in which Desmond Bane has been off the floor. So this is kind of like a little deep dive, a way that you could use props.cash to kind of leverage, a pick or a play, to dig into the research a little bit further. Just 1 for 5 on the assists, so I'd probably leave the assists alone. The rebounds look pretty juicy against New Orleans. You could go points for Ja at 28.5. So kind of some insightful information here. All right. Now, you want to get a projection, you can go over to Fantasy Labs, Action Labs. You have to pay for this. You do have to pay for this. But we could look at the projections for Ja Morant here. He's projected for 30.3 points. He's at 28.5 on PrizePicks. Slight betting favorite to go over at 28.5. So that wouldn't be a bad route. You could also look at the rebounds, which is the one we talked about as well. His rebounds are down to 5. He's had 5 or better in every game Desmond Bane has not played dating back to last season. He is projected for 6, but at 5.5, the public betting the under here. Minus 145 betting favorite to go under 5.5. What do you guys think? Any of these Ja Morant props standing out to you? Are you liking the points more? Are you liking the rebounds more? There's a lot of different ways. A lot of different ways you could go here on Ja Morant, but that's the only one we have on the board so far from that Memphis-New Orleans game. All right. Now let's go back to the trends page here on props.cash. Let's look at some of these other games. We looked at Memphis, New Orleans. All we could really talk about from there is Ja Morant. But this game, we've got some guys who are hitting at a high clip when it comes to points. You got Luka Doncic, 67% hit rate, but then you look at the matchup against the Clippers, and it's red, right? Not a great matchup for Luka, but it's still Luka. At the end of the day, it's still Luka Doncic. So you could definitely go there if you wanted to. What about the other categories? Assists. Spencer Dinwiddie, a 75% hit rate on his assists at 4.5. But again, not looking like the greatest matchup against the Los Angeles Clippers. So I'm looking for high hit rates, and I'm looking for green, not red, right? We want green because at the end of the night, we want to see green. Not that he can't get it done against the Clippers. We're looking for an easier matchup. We can go to the rebound category. Not a lot of high hit rate rebounders in this game based on today's lines, right? 50% or below. So I'm not really interested in taking any rebounders. What about PRA? 67% PRA on Marcus Morris Sr. That's not terrible. Matchup against Dallas, though, in a low-scoring game. I don't know if I'm really interested in taking too many overplays from this one. So let's move on to another game. What about the New York Knicks at Utah Jazz? I think there's going to be a lot of goodness from this one. It's the highest scoring total game of the night, right? So let's look at those. Points props, guys at 57% or below, kind of low hit rates. But you're seeing a lot of green and yellow here. Green and yellow, much better than red, right? So you're seeing some trends here. One of the ones that I saw some folks mentioning were, was it Mike Conley's assists at 7.5? I think that's a pretty decent look. He's sitting at 7.5. He's going up against the New York Knicks, who ranked 26 in assists allowed. So we're going to look at Mike Conley maybe going for more than 7.5 assists. We'll dig into that one a little bit further. We're building out like a little playlist, we'll call it. A playlist, a prop playlist. We don't have Jordan Clarkson, Jared Vanderbilt, or Kelly Olynyk's assists up on the board. None of those guys are on the board. So we can move on from the assists category. We can go to rebounds. Jordan Clarkson for rebounds, he's at 3.5, but he's not up on the PrizePicks board, so we can't really dig into that one. You got Lauri Markkanen sitting at 7.5 rebounds, 67% hit rate going up against the Knicks, who ranked 26th in rebounds allowed. So we could maybe look at Lauri for more than 7.5 boards. Julius Randle, 62% hit rate at 8.5 boards. Utah ranks 19th. That's not terrible. Maybe we could look at that one. We'll go into that one a little bit further. What about like PRA? Jared Vanderbilt, 69% hit rate on his PRA. That's points plus rebounds plus assists, all 3 categories combined. We do have him up on the board. Maybe that's one to consider for more than 18.5 in a high-scoring game going up against the Knicks tonight. So all of these have really high hit rates, right? Let's go to the next game, San Antonio and Portland. Got a couple of guys that stand out here. Anthony Simons, Damian Lillard points. Simons, the lower number at 20.5, 64% hit rate going up against the Spurs. Spurs, dead last, meaning they're allowing more points to opposing teams than any other team in the league. So maybe we look at Simons and or Lillard. I think I like the little discount we're getting on Simons, 5 points less than Damian Lillard. So you got Lillard at 26.5. Simons at 20.5. I think we're paying a little bit more on Lillard. Props.cash has him at 25.5. He's at 26.5 on PrizePicks. So I think I'm going to go Simons here, maybe. Maybe we could look into that one. So let's look at those. We got 4 picks from one game. We got Anthony Simons at 20.5. But I think we can start doing some research based on those, right? Appreciate y'all being here. Mike Conley Jr. was one that I saw a number of folks kind of talking about his assists at 7.5. Let's dig into that one a little bit more and see if that's a good look or not. Looking at Mike Conley Jr., you can see what he's done this season at 7.5 assists. He's 9 for 14, 64% hit rate. Things have gotten really good for Mike Conley over the last 7 games, though. 8, 10, 12, 13, 10, and 8, right? He's 6 of his last 7. And if you look at the last 5-game view using props.cash, 9.4 assists in his last 5 games. He's gone over 7.5 assists in 4 straight, hitting double digits, 10 or more in 3 out of 5 games. So that's looking pretty darn good so far. What about the Knicks? What did he do against the Knicks? We got to go back to last season. He played the Knicks just one time. It was back in February. He had 7 dimes against the Knicks in that game. So he would have fallen short, but that was last season, kind of irrelevant, right? The whole Utah Jazz team totally made over. No more Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, Royce O'Neal, Bogdanovich. Those guys are all gone. He's got a new cast of characters around him. So Mike Conley at 7.5 assists, looking pretty darn good so far. Riding a 4-game streak, going over 7.5 dimes. So what about the matchup? Well, we mentioned the New York Knicks, 26th in total assists allowed. They're giving up about 27 dimes per game. That's looking pretty good. We could take an even closer look at this by going to the point guard position. This is called DVP. It's a free DVP chart provided by Fantasy Pros. Guys, just go to Google, type in FanDuel DVP NBA, and then this will come up for you. But we go to the point guard position. We head over to the assist column. We sort from greatest to least. And then we go down to the New York Knicks. You're seeing that the New York Knicks are giving up 9.2 dimes per game to opposing point guards. That's the 4th most. So the matchup looks right. As a team, they give up a lot of assists. As a team, they also give up a lot of assists to point guards specifically. He needs 8. They're giving up over 9 per game. I think it's a pretty decent look. Now, another way that you can kind of take things a step further in terms of your research, you could go to NBA.com. This is called the NBA Advanced Stats page. Again, this is free. And what you do here is take a look at something called potential assists. We want to know how many assist opportunities or chances that Michael Conley Jr. gets on a per game basis compared to the rest of his teammates, right? Is he at the top of the charts when it comes to potential assists? Is he down toward the bottom, somewhere in between? Let's take a look at it. So how you do this, you go to Advanced Filters, go to Team, scroll down to the Utah Jazz, click Get Stats, and then you go to the potential assist column, which is already highlighted for us. He's averaging 14.4 potential assists per game, which has led him to 8.1 dimes per game. So he's averaging 8.1 on the season, 14 games played. His line today is 7.5. So he's averaging more than what his line is at. All right. Another thing to keep an eye on is passes made. Who's dominating the passes made on this team, this Utah Jazz team? It is Mike Conley Jr. with 60.5 passes made per game. The next highest or closest person is Kelly Olynyk with 41.7 passes made. So for those of you who are liking Michael Conley Jr., for more than 7.5 assists in a game with a total of 231 points and just a 5-point spread, I think it's a pretty good look. I mean, there's nothing that suggests maybe we should back away from this. There's nothing to suggest that maybe it's a bad play. Everything seems to be lining up pretty well here. What do you guys think? I mean, we're doing the research together. You have eyeballs. You have a brain. Are you liking this? Or are you finding a reason to not take it? Are you taking it under? Do you think he goes for less than 7.5 assists? Are you fading it? Maybe you're backing away from it. Maybe you don't want to touch it at all. Let me know. All right, his projected assists are 7.7. 7.7, slightly higher than 7.5, closer to 8 than 7, right? So that's a good sign. Again, just everything seems to be lining up here. He's a betting favorite to go over 7.5 on all the different sports books. So we're seeing some juice on the over, not extreme or heavy juice, but minus 130 betting favorite to go over on a site like DraftKings, a reputable sports book. So what are you guys thinking here? More or less on Mike Conley at 7.5 assists? Things are looking pretty good. I think that's a good one. I'm going to leave him in. Maybe we're going to build a slip together. We'll build an entry together. All right, let's go to the rebound section. Going back to this Utah-New York Knicks game. We got Lauri Markkanen at 7.5 rebounds. He's been kind of hit or miss, right? Last 5 games, you see what he's done. He's got this little pattern forming. Gone over, and over in his last game against Philadelphia. Does that mean that an under is bound to happen tonight? He's averaging 7 rebounds per game going up against New York tonight. Let's look at Lauri Markkanen. We'll do the research together, gang. Back to props.cash we go. We'll go to the rebound category. Click Lauri Markkanen's name. We'll take a look at what he's done this season. Played a total of 15 games, has gone over 7.5 boards in 10 of 15. That's a 67% hit rate. But as we can see, he does every once in a while stumble. He does every once in a while fall. But more often than not, he's getting the job done, averaging 8.6 rebounds per game. That's 1.1 rebounds higher than his projection today of 7.5 on PrizePicks. But as we talked about in the last 5 games, just 7 rebounds per game. Got this funny little pattern forming. Hasn't been the most consistent, right, in the last 5 games. I think that's fair to say. What about against the New York Knicks last season? Well, last season, I think he was with the Chicago Bulls. Was he with the Bulls last year? No, Cleveland. He was with Cleveland. He was with Cleveland last year. Managed to pull in 9 rebounds against the New York Knicks back on April 2nd. So he hit the over in the one game from last season against tonight's opponent, the New York Knicks. So there's Lauri Markkanen for you. We talked about the matchup. Looking pretty good here. The Knicks are giving up the 26th highest amount of rebounds. Total rebounds, 46.4 rebounds allowed to opposing teams per game. 11.8, close to 12 offensive rebounds and almost 35 defensive rebounds per game. So they're giving up rebounds across the board here. Total, offensive, and defensive. They're in the bottom 5 in the league. So it's a good matchup, right? Now, one way that you can kind of look at this a little bit closer, look into it a little bit further, we'll call Lauri Markkanen the power forward. Of course, you got Kelly Olynyk playing alongside of him. Those guys, they're both kind of stretch 5, stretch 4s, whatever you want to call them, right? I don't know that there's a true center on this team. But taking a look at the New York Knicks against power forwards, they're giving up exactly 10 rebounds per game. Now, you can see where they kind of fall in line in this list here. We got it sorted from greatest to least, right? They're closer to the top than the bottom, meaning they're giving up a healthy amount of rebounds per game to opposing power forwards at 10. He needs 8. They give up 10 per game to power forwards. Let's look at the other front court spot, the center position. New York against centers. How many rebounds are they giving up to centers? 14.5. Puts them down closer to the bottom of the list. A little more stingy when it comes to allowing rebounds to centers. But keep in mind, Mitchell Robinson will not be playing tonight. So are they giving up more rebounds lately? Well, one thing that you could do here, instead of looking at the season, you could look at the last 7 games. So we'll turn on the last 7 game filter here and see if they're giving up more or less than 14.5 in the last 7 games to opposing centers. Let's see. Did I break this? Let's see. All right, the last 7 games for the New York Knicks, they are giving up less rebounds in the last 7 games than they are for the season. So they've actually trended downward. They're giving up fewer rebounds in the last 7 games than they are for the season. All right, let's go back to the season view. Last but not least, we're going to get you a number as far as rebound chances. Now, rebound chances are kind of like potential assists or field goal attempts, 3-point field goal attempts, free throw attempts. It's a player's opportunities when it comes to collecting a rebound, right? So we're going to go to the Utah Jazz. We're going to click Get Stats. And then you get an idea of who's leading the team in rebound chances. Number 1 on the team in rebound opportunities, rebound chances, is Jared Vanderbilt. Right behind him is Lauri Markkanen at 13.1. So these two guys are head and shoulders above everyone else. Kelly Olynyk, 9.9 rebound chances per game. He's third on the list. You got Walker Kessler at 9.8 rebound chances. But it's Jared Vanderbilt, Lauri Markkanen at 13 or more rebound chances per game. And we talked about Lauri's rebound chances at 13.1 being converted to 8.6 actual rebounds per game, which is a whole rebound higher than where his line is today. So he's in a pretty good matchup. He's up at the top of the charts here amongst his teammates in rebound chances per game, and he's leading the Utah Jazz in total rebounds on a per game average at 8.6. Boom. All right, so let's get you a projection on this one. We'll switch it up here. We'll go to the rebound category. We'll type in Lauri Markkanen's name. I've got him projected for 8.3 rebounds. But the betting public thinks that this number's too high. They don't think he's going to find 8 rebounds against the New York Knicks. They are betting the under. They think 7 or fewer rebounds is in his future. What do you guys think? Lauri Markkanen for more? Lauri Markkanen for less than 7.5 rebounds? Let me know. Let me know. Moving on from that one, from the other side, same game, Julius Randle, another guy, if you look at his last 5 game logs, up and down, right? Up and down. Hard to trust Julius Randle. Maybe you don't take just the rebounds on their own. Maybe you go points and rebounds. But he has been rebounding, I would say, a little bit higher without Mitchell Robinson in. But another one of these guys who seems to be kind of, up and down, seesawing from game to game when it comes to rebounds. So let's look at Julius Randle real quick. He's at 8.5 boards. For the season, 8 for 13, 62% hit rate, healthy 9.1 rebounds per game average. We've seen that average go up in the last 5 games to 9.2. Kind of like Markkanen in this weird little holding pattern over the last 5 games where he goes over, then under, then over, then under, then over. So should we expect an under tonight? Will the pattern hold up? Or will he finally break through and clear 8.5 rebounds in back-to-back games for the first time in his last 5 games? Against Utah last season, he faced them twice. Now remember, Gobert was there. They had a whole different cast. Had 6 boards in their first matchup, 11 in the next matchup. So 8.5 rebounds per game was the average there. 50% hit rate facing Utah last season. We talked about the matchup here looking pretty decent. Utah ranks 19th in total rebounds, 26th in offensive rebounds, 11th in defensive rebounds. Now, a player is typically going to get the lion's share, the biggest part or portion of the rebounds on the defensive side. So the fact that they're 11th in defensive rebounds is a little bit concerning for me. I might say back off of Julius Randle just based on that. But let's take it a step further. Let's look at the matchup here. Julius Randle's going to be playing power forward. He's going up against Utah, as we already mentioned. So we go find the Utah Jazz in this list here. And, they're giving up a pretty healthy amount at 10.2, 10.3 rebounds per game, which kind of puts them closer to the top. It's not the worst matchup in the world for Julius Randle. That is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th most rebounds on a per game basis to power forwards. He needs 9. They're giving up over 10 per game. So he's not in a bad spot. What about center? Because sometimes they play small ball. They put Julius Randle at center. I could see that happening tonight with Kelly Olynyk, Lauri Markkanen filling in at center. Now, if you look at the center spot, the Utah Jazz giving up over 16.5 rebounds per game to opposing centers. That is actually the sixth highest number. There's only 5 teams in the league giving up more rebounds to opposing centers. So when you combine the total rebounds on a per game basis to centers, you combine the total rebounds on a per game basis to power forwards, they're giving up over 27 rebounds per game to forwards and centers, power forwards and centers. Randle could be in a pretty decent spot. Talked about rebound chances for Lauri Markkanen. What about rebound chances for Julius Randle? Let's take a look. We go down to the New York Knicks, click Get Stats. Rebound chances are kind of spread out. They're kind of all over the place. We talked about Mitchell Robinson is going to be out tonight. He will be out tonight. So those rebound chances should be going up here for Julius Randle, who's sitting at 15.1 per game for the season. And then Isaiah Hartenstein at 15.8 is actually leading the New York Knicks in potential rebounds or rebound chances per game. But Randall is the leading rebound for the New York Knicks at over 9 rebounds per game in 13 games played. What about in like the last 5 games? Because I think Mitchell Robinson's been out for like a few games, 5 games or so. Yeah, no Mitchell Robinson in the last 5 games, so he is not in this list. So specifically, last 5 games, these are games without Mitchell Robinson. Julius Randle, 14 rebound chances per game. He's turned those 14 rebound chances into 9.2 rebounds per game. So in games without Mitchell Robinson, he still ranks second behind Isaiah Hartenstein in rebound chances. So Randle's in a pretty decent spot. What are you guys thinking so far with Julius Randle? You thinking more or less on 8.5 rebounds? Second on the team in rebound chances, first in rebounds per game. Been a little inconsistent in the last 5 games. Maybe if we get you a projection here, that'll help clear the table for you. He's projected for 9.6 boards. That's 1.1 rebounds higher than where he's at 8.5. We're seeing some pretty strong action, pretty strong juice on the over here for Julius Randle. Minus 120, minus 138. Minus 120 here, minus 135 there, minus 125. All the action, all the juice is coming in on the over for Julius Randle. So they think he's going to get at least 9 boards tonight against Kelly Olynyk and Lauri Markkanen. So there you go. You guys are saying, King United saying, how about Randle first half PRA? I hear you. I hear you. Randle's first half PRA has been looking pretty darn good. If you wanted to go first half only, you can. I don't think you have to. I think this game's going to stay close and competitive, but you can for sure. Speaking of PRA, we got Jared Vanderbilt. He's been hitting his PRA at a pretty high clip. We already talked about his rebound chances per game. He's leading the Utah Jazz in rebound chances, slightly higher than his teammate, Lauri Markkanen, who we looked at for his rebounds. So maybe we go Jared Vanderbilt. He's kind of an off-the-radar type of play, right? Not a popular household name, but he is worth looking into because he's been crushing most games, crushing 18.5 PRA. He's 9 for 13 on the season. That's a 69% hit rate, averaging 19.5 PRA for the year. 19.2 in the last 10, but in the last 5, 18.8. That's not good. You don't want to see his averages trending down from season to 10 game to 5 game, right? He's going in the wrong direction. If anything, we want to catch him on the upswing, on the uptick. But we're not getting that here. We're seeing him slide just a little bit. Now, 18.8 in his last 5 is still higher than 18.5, which is where his projection is today, right? Played in New York last year, but again, Jared Vanderbilt, totally different team, totally different situation. So he only had 11 PRA in that game against New York. So we take that with a grain of salt when we move forward, right? Going down here, New York's defense, 25th in points allowed, 26th in rebounds allowed, 26th in assists allowed. They're at the bottom of the league in all 3 categories, meaning they're giving up a lot of points, giving up a lot of rebounds, and giving up a lot of assists. So Jared Vanderbilt is not in a bad spot tonight. Not in a bad spot against this Knicks team. We talked about the total being very high, right? So what about the DVP? Well, he's playing power forward, small forward, right? You got Markkanen, you got Olynyk. So we'll look at small forward and power forward points, rebounds, and assists allowed by the Knicks. Now they're giving up 26.8 points per game to small forwards. No team gives up more points to small forwards than the New York Knicks do. So Vanderbilt against the Knicks in a really good spot when it comes to a point prop. No other team giving up more points to small forwards than the Knicks. Rebounds per game. They're giving up over 9 per game. That is the 3rd highest. So they're giving up the first amount of points, the 3rd amount of rebounds per game. So that looks really good. What about his assists? The Knicks, in terms of assists, are giving up about 4 per game, which puts them right in the middle of the pack, right? Closer to the top than the bottom, but right in the middle. Average at 4 assists per game. But you add up the PRA, you've got 39, we'll call it 40 PRA allowed to small forwards. This guy needs 19. They're giving up 40. He needs 19. I think it looks like a pretty good spot. There's plenty of room, ceiling, potential for Jared Vanderbilt here against a team giving up 40 points, rebounds, and assists per game. Let's get your projection on this one. We're going to go PRA. We're going to go Jared Vanderbilt. He's projected for 19.1. He's at 18.5 on most books. Slight betting favorite to go over. But it's important to note that FanDuel has him as high as 19.5. So we are getting a point of value on PrizePicks at 18.5 versus a book like FanDuel. What do you guys think about Jared Vanderbilt? Yay or nay? More or less? Or maybe it's just a fade. Maybe you just back away from it. You guys let me know. All right. That brings us to Anthony Simons at 20.5 points. He's going up against the San Antonio Spurs, gang. San Antonio Spurs. He's at 20.5. We see what he's done here. 4 out of his last 5, he has gone over. 4 out of his last 5, he has gone over. 24, 23. Came close, but no cigar against Charlotte with 19. 25 against Miami. 31 against Memphis. But it's important to note that some of these games, Damian Lillard was out. So how do we research this? How do we know how many points Anthony Simons has had in games which Damian Lillard has shared the court with him? How can we figure that out? Well, we can use StatMuse to help us with that. And here's an example of like a search query that you could put in using StatMuse. You would go Anthony Simons points with Damian Lillard logs. All right. And then you can take a look. And if you want to get more specific, we can put in this season. All right. So he's played a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 games with Dame this season. All right. He's at 20.5. How many times has he gone over? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 for 8. 50% hit rate. So the hit rates don't look so sweet when you factor in Damian Lillard playing alongside of him in that backcourt, right? Things sour just a little bit. It doesn't look so great. 24, 25, 29, and 22. Now he's 3 out of his last 5 playing alongside Damian Lillard. The last 5 games, he's hit this in 3 out of 5. So 67% hit rate, we'll call it. All right, let's look at the matchup here for Simons. He's at 20.5 points. He's a point guard. He's going up against the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs are giving up a pretty healthy amount of points per game to point guards, about 25 points per game, 24 to 25. You can see where that ranks them, right around the top 10. Now, maybe you consider him the shooting guard. Fair argument, right? He's playing alongside Damian Lillard. Both of these guys, point guards, shooting guards, whatever you want to classify them as, they're giving up over 23 points per game to shooting guards, which still puts them right around just outside the top 10. They are very close to the top of the charts for point guards and shooting guards when it comes to points allowed per game. So 23.2 to shooting guards and then 24.7 to point guards. So you kind of combine those two numbers. You're looking at about 48 points per game allowed to point guards and shooting guards to backcourts. All right. He needs 21. They're giving up 48. So let's get you a projection here on Anthony Simons. His points, we've got him projected at 22.2 points according to Fantasy Labs. Now I'm seeing him at 19.5 on some books, 20.5 on others. If you're thinking about taking the over at 20.5, do so knowing that you're paying a higher price. Nobody likes to pay more, right? We wish he was at 19.5. Now the fact that some books, a lot of books in fact, have him at 19.5 is scary to me when considering the over or more than 20.5. Why is it scary to me? Because the lines makers who put these lines up at 19.5 feel that Anthony Simons' outcome tonight could be 19 to 20 points. 19 points is less than 20.5. 20 points is less than 20.5. So I take a little caution here. I'm going to leave Anthony Simons alone. If anything, you might want to consider taking the under here at 19.5 or at 20.5. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see this get bumped to 20, like an even 20, where PrizePicks kind of splits the difference. Not having him as low as 19.5, not having him as high as 20.5. If he ends up at 20, I wouldn't be surprised. But for me, I'm going to stay away from this one. Just because I get cold feet when I see sportsbooks have him posted up at 19.5. So he's going to stay off my list today. But I think these 4 look pretty good. You guys let me know out of the 4 that we have here, Mike Conley, over 7.5 assists. Lauri Markkanen over 7.5 rebounds. Julius Randle over 8.5 boards. And Jared Vanderbilt over 18.5 PRA. Which ones do you like the best out of those four? It's like a same game parlay for the most part. We could even go back to props.cash and we could look at some more player props from some of these other games. We didn't really finish San Antonio and Portland, but you could go to the assist category. You got Lillard and Simons both at like 55% hit rate. Not really interested in that. You got Lillard at 4.5 rebounds with a 63% hit rate. San Antonio ranks 18th in total rebounds allowed per game to opposing teams. So you could go that way if you wanted to. Is Lillard up here for rebounds? He's at 4.5 boards on PrizePicks. So perhaps you look Damian Lillard's way when it comes to rebounds. I would say if Nurkic is out, if Big Nurk is out of the lineup, then maybe you go Damian Lillard for more than 4.5 rebounds. 63% hit rate, decent matchup, up pace, up tempo, fast paced type of game. What about PRA? Lillard rocking the 63% PRA hit rate going up against San Antonio. That may not be a bad look as well. Let's move on from that game. Last game, Brooklyn at Sacramento, because we've seen Sabonis' name come up. Some of you folks are liking Sabonis play tonight. Some of you are saying take the under on Sabonis. Well, we're looking at the hit rates for points, right? We got Kevin Huerter at 67%, but then we look at the matchup against Brooklyn. It's red. We don't like red. We like green. Yellow, doable. Green, good. Red, bad. We don't want red. Red, bad. De'Aaron Fox, 23.5 points, 64% hit rate. Again, in a red matchup. Keegan Murray in a red matchup, right? So a lot of these Sacramento Kings, 60% or higher hit rates, but they're in a red matchup. Red no bueno. So what else do we have? We got Domantas Sabonis at 5.5 assists, 75% hit rate. Guys, Sabonis at 5.5 assists has been smacking, man. It has absolutely been slapping for me. Every time I play it, it seems like he hits, barring nothing stupid happens. There was a game against Golden State earlier this season where, he was on the second leg of a back-to-back. They were getting blown out by Golden State. Coach pulled him. He didn't even get 30 minutes of run, but he would have hit. He had 4 assists before getting pulled. I think his line was 4.5 that night. But anyway, he's up at 5.5 now, and for good reason. You can see what he's been doing here. 6, 6, 6, 6, and 8 assists in his last 5 games. So I don't mind Sabonis. I know the matchup is red, and I said we don't like red, but he could be somebody you make an exception for. We're likely not going to get Joe Harris at 1.5 assists. Yeah, he's not up on the board. But Sabonis and Joe Harris have your highest hit rates from this game. Another popular way to take Sabonis would probably be his PRA. He's done a pretty good job with his points, rebounds, and assists. 50% hit rate, though. But against Brooklyn, especially if Nick Claxton is out, Sabonis should feast on Brooklyn. PRA hit rates, you got De'Aaron Fox at 34.5 PRA. Some of you guys are mentioning Sabonis. But what about the Fox, man? 34.5 PRA. He's covered this in 73% of his games. Splurgeon saying he's liking De'Aaron Fox 3-pointers. All right. I see Jose's mentioning De'Aaron Fox for just the points. You could go just the points on De'Aaron Fox. He's at a 64% hit rate on just the points alone. But let's say he struggles a little bit. Maybe he doesn't get to the marker he needs for the points. Well, the higher hit rate here is the PRA at 34.5. 73% hit rate there. And you can kind of take a look at the DVP here on FanDuel. Go to the Brooklyn Nets, right? Brooklyn, as far as PRA given up, they're giving up about 22 points per game, about 7.5 rebounds per game. So we'll call that 30 points and rebounds allowed. Then you tack on 9 assists. They're giving about 39 to 40 points, rebounds, and assists per game to point guards, all right? So they're giving up about 40. He would need 35. And he's hit it in 73% of his games this season. Let's get you a projection on this. I got Fox projected for about 35 points, rebounds, and assists. Here's what I like to see, all right? We got him at 34.5 on most books. But then you got a reputable sports book with sharp lines makers like FanDuel who have him up at 35.5 PRA, meaning we are getting a point of value. We're paying a lower price at 34.5 on PrizePicks. I like paying lower prices. I think you guys like paying lower prices too. We like discounts. We like value, right? Drive through McDonald's. You're hungry. You go for the value meal. Why do they call it a value meal? Because they're going to give you the drink, the fries, and the sandwich, right? For a cheaper price than if you were to buy those things individually. That's why they call it the value meal. Trust me, I've had a few in my time, all right? I'm a value meal expert. But we like value. That's my point. You're getting value here. He's at 34.5 versus a site like FanDuel. And he's projected for about 35. So maybe you go Fox PRA. For you Fox point lovers out there, where's his point prop? Well, he's at 23.5 to 24.5. 23.5 to 24.5. So I don't hate that if you wanted to go Fox for points, but you are not getting value on his points at 24.5. You are paying more. So you are not getting value at 24.5. You are paying more. He's at 23.5 on DraftKings, 23.5 on BetMGM. That's value, but we're getting him at 24.5. The value would be his PRA, and it's got the higher hit rate. All right. We're looking at some questions here. I'm seeing what you guys are saying. Appreciate everybody being here, by the way. If you're just getting here, make sure you subscribe, like, turn on them notifications. And then when the replay goes up, you leave a comment, you'll be automatically entered to win a free entry on PrizePicks, which could get you $100. You get both of the picks right in your 2-pick power play, you'll win $100 in promo credits on PrizePicks. I'm giving one away a day. All right. So make sure you're subscribed, notifications turned on. Hit the like button, and when the replay goes up, you leave a comment with your favorite prop of the day. Maybe you'll help somebody out. Maybe they'll see your comment and they'll, tail your play, right? So don't just sit here and watch. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and then make sure you leave that comment, because I want to keep giving away an entry a day. Free 2-pick power. That'll score you $100 on PrizePicks. Everybody's wondering, where's the airdrop, PrizePicks? When are you guys going to give me some promo credits, PrizePicks? Hey, we don't care about this thing that you're promoting. We want airdrop credits. They use people like me to hand out some of those opportunities for you to get those airdrops, for you to get those promo credits, all right? Shout out to my sponsor, PrizePicks, for making that possible. All right, we got a super chat from my man, Everyday Fantasy. Everyday Fantasy says Harrison Barnes over 4.5 rebounds is going under the radar. I can tell you this, my man. It definitely flew under my radar. Let's look at it. Harry Barnes, 4.5. My man had 0 rebounds in his last game against the Golden State Warriors. 3 out of his last 5 games, he has gone over 4.5 rebounds. I need more game logs. I need to see more from Harrison Barnes here. 5 games isn't telling the whole story. This is where props.cash really shines. They're going to give you all the game logs from this season for Harrison Barnes here. So my man, Everyday Fantasy, says Harrison Barnes is going under the radar at 4.5 rebounds. Let's see if he's got a point here. 7 for 12 this season, 58% hit rate, averaging 5.4 boards per game. The last 10, he's maintained a 5 rebound per game average. The last 5 rebound per game average. Now, he just put up a goose egg against Golden State. My man was out there getting his cardio in, played over 27 minutes, could not find a single rebound against his former team, the Golden State Warriors. Tonight, he's taking on Brooklyn. Brooklyn ranks 23rd in total rebounds, giving up over 45 boards per game to opposing teams. 23rd when it comes to offensive rebounds, about 12 per game. And then 17th in the oh-so-crucial key defensive rebound department. Over 33 rebounds allowed per game. Still a decent number, though, even though they rank kind of middle of the pack, an average team in rebounds allowed. So Harrison Barnes is going to need to play more minutes than 27. And he does. Most of the time, he's at a 30 or more minute total, averaging about 32 minutes per game, averaging about 30 minutes in his last 5 games, right? So he's got to have more than 0 rebounds tonight. There's only one way to go from 0, right? And that's up. If it's up, then it's up. Let's take a look at the rebound chances on a per game basis for Harrison Barnes and see where he ranks amongst the rest of the Sacramento Kings. I'm expecting Domantas Sabonis to be at the top of this list here. Can I get an amen? I think Domantas Sabonis should be at the top of this list here. Let's look, though. Yeah, by far, Domantas Sabonis, 20.2 rebound chances per game, gang. The next closest person is Harrison Barnes, 7.8 rebound chances per game. I'll be honest with you. This is the last 5 games. Sabonis in the last 5 games is dominating those rebound chances. 20.2, and then everybody else is just kind of sharing the wealth. Now, what happens when we take the last 5 games off? We look at the season numbers for rebound chances. Well, that number gets a bit better for Harrison Barnes. 9.3 rebound chances for the season, which has led him to average 5.4 rebounds per game. But yeah, in the last 5, he has not been getting on the glass quite as much. We saw those rebound chances plummet. All right, they were not sitting at 9.3. So it's important to kind of look at recent form. And in recent form, last 5 games, Harrison Barnes hasn't been getting on the glass quite as much. 9.3 drops down to 7.8. We're going to need him at 9 or more rebound chances to have a shot at cracking 5 or more actual rebounds tonight. All right, so there's your breakdown on Harrison Barnes. I want to get you a projection. We're going to turn to Fantasy Labs for that. I got Harrison Barnes projected for 5 rebounds. He is at 4.5 rebounds on every sports book that offers a Harrison Barnes rebound prop. All right, betting favorite to go over on DraftKings, -130. You got him on BetMGM, -120. PointsBet, -125. So most of the action is coming in on the over for Harrison Barnes at 4.5 rebounds. So there you go, my man, Mr. Everyday Fantasy. You guys are talking tacos. Let's talk tacos. What's going on with the taco voting? Let me pull up the Discord here, PrizePicks Discord. We got taco bar voting going down right now. Let me just pull that in here. We can take a look at it together. All right. Shout out to Noel in the PrizePicks Discord. He is running the current votes. The current votes are Luka Doncic from 32.5 points down to 27.5 points. Luka's PRA from 50.5 being discounted down to 45.5. We got Paul George points, discount from 24.5 down to 19.5. And we got Paul George points, rebounds, and assists being discounted from 34.5 down to 29.5. Now it's already kind of looking like almost a runaway. We got 2 front runners here that are leading these votes. We got Luka Doncic points from 32.5 down to 27.5. That is vote option A. And then we've also got Paul George points from 24.5 down to 19.5. Paul George is leading the way right now. For me, you guys are asking what I think. For me, let's look at these game totals real quick. There's a reason, gang. Let me put y'all on game real quick. There is a reason why we are getting Luka Doncic and Paul George. All right? Yes, they are the best players on their respective teams. Let me show y'all something. We're talking about a game with a 212-point total, the lowest total of the night, right? 212-point total, by far the lowest total of the night. Not a game that you would target overs on. There's a reason that those are the tacos, because it is the lowest total of the night. On top of that, we've got pending news on John Wall and Kawhi Leonard. If John Wall and Kawhi Leonard play, do we like Paul George tacos or any Paul George props, any overs on Paul George? Do we like them as much? I sure as heck don't. I don't want to take any overs on Paul George if Kawhi Leonard and or John Wall strap up tonight. No, I don't. Especially in a 212 total game. That is the lowest total game on the board. What does that mean? That means that these two teams, when you combine the total points that they're going to score, when you combine them together, you're going to get roughly 212 points. That's what the Vegas lines makers think. All right? Lower total games means slower pace. Slower pace means fewer possessions for each team. Fewer possessions mean less shot opportunities going up. Less shots going up means less points are being scored by these players. And if you vote for the PRA, that means less rebounds and assists because of less possessions, slower pace. All right? I am warning you now that this taco will probably end up being a sweat, whichever one that they vote in. I just got a feeling it's going to be a sweat. This is a low-scoring game, a slow-paced game, 212 points. Dallas is a 7-point favorite. 7-point favorite. That means this game has blowout potential as well. Dallas playing at home. The Clippers are on a back-to-back, gang. If the Clippers end up getting smoked by the Mavericks, I wouldn't be surprised. They're on a back-to-back on the road against Dallas. 7-point spread, low total game. Be careful with these tacos. I love a good taco on PrizePicks as much as anybody, but I would say be careful on these tacos. It's not as sweet as it looks. All right? Let's get you some projections. Paul George, 23.9 projected points. But again, Kawhi Leonard's status is up in the air. John Wall's status is up in the air. So I don't know that I love Paul George. He's actually at 24.5 right now on PrizePicks. So they're already feeding us a higher line on Paul George. All right. He's at 23.5 on every sports book out there. They are betting him to go under at 23.5. If I were you, I'd be thinking about taking the under on Paul George at 24.5. He really should be at 23.5. Especially if Kawhi plays, especially if John Wall plays. I'd be taking the under at 24.5 points because we're already paying a higher price here at 24.5, right? 23.5 everywhere else. Some people are even betting the under at 23.5. I would not touch him on the over at 24.5. I would take the under on the original line. I feel better about that than I would even a taco on Paul George. Now, it could still hit. It could still very well hit. But I'm leaning toward the under on Paul George at 24.5. His PRA, let's look at his PRA projection real quick. 34.5 PRA on PrizePicks. He is at 34.5 PRA everywhere else. But I got him projected to go for about 34 PRA. All right. So PrizePicks is in line with Paul George when it comes to the 34.5 PRA number. The points worry me, though. The points worry me. How's the voting going right now? Paul George points are leading the way right now. Over 1,200 votes for Paul George points. Let's talk about Luka Doncic. Luka is currently slightly in second for his points. His points are at 32.5 on PrizePicks. Let's flip this over real quick. He is at 32.5 points on all sports books out there. So PrizePicks does have a competitive number up at 32.5. So they are not higher like they are on Paul George. Paul George is a point higher. I'm not touching the Paul George taco if it gets voted in, especially not until we get Kawhi Leonard and John Wall news, which probably won't happen until after the taco is off of the board. Kawhi and John Wall could play tonight. Kawhi and John Wall could play tonight. You may not know their status until it's too late, is what I'm saying. Depending on how long they let this taco go, let's say the Paul George taco gets voted in for his points, you may not know Kawhi or John Wall's status until it's too late. All right? Keep that in mind. Let's look at both of these real quick. Wall has been ruled out for Monday's game against the Rockets. So we don't have any recent news for him. So this is the second leg of the back-to-back. Maybe he ends up playing tonight against Dallas. Kawhi Leonard has been ruled out for yesterday's game. It says he's unlikely to play Tuesday against Dallas. So maybe we don't have to worry about Kawhi Leonard. That would be good for Paul George's outcome. We are still waiting on John Wall. So maybe John Wall plays tonight. But the fact that we are paying a point higher on Paul George at 24.5, I'd probably take the under on his original line at 24.5. Luka, though, 32.5. We talked about him. He is right in line with the rest of the sports books, the rest of the industry at 32.5. What about his PRA? His PRA probably won't win the vote, but it's at 50.5. Let's take a look at where he is at on different sports books right now at 50.5 on PrizePicks. He is at 50.5 everywhere today. But at 50.5 currently, a betting favor to go under on some of these sports books. That's not a very good feeling. He's projected for 47.1. 47.1. His line would be 45.5 if it gets voted in. It looks like Paul George is going to win. It looks like Paul George is going to win. So for me, I'm going to go Paul George less than 24.5 points. I think going under on the original line is not a bad look whatsoever. Game is life. Yeah, we talked about Sabonis assists. I think Sabonis assists is fine. Sabonis assists are fine at 5.5. Don't mind that at all. He continues to get it done. He continues to hit. Not mad at that one. It's the opposite in the Discord. Luka is winning. Luka is not winning. He is losing. Paul George points are winning. It's close, though. Luka could win. But he's down by about 100 and something votes. I'm going to vote for Luka. That would be my vote. Luka points. I'm not voting for Paul George. I'm taking the under on Paul George at his original line of 24.5, being that he's a whole point higher on PrizePicks than he is most sports books. If they had him at 23.5 and they were taking his points down to 18.5, that would be better, right? But they're taking him from 24.5 down to 19.5. They don't want to give us Paul George at 18.5. That would be seriously a good discount. What letter is Luka for me? Luka is A for his points. Luka's PRA is B. PG's points are C. PG's PRA is D. And it looks like Paul George is winning. He is letter C and has over 1,400 votes. Luka's right around 1,300 votes right now. So, you vote, Ape Gang, you vote in the official PrizePicks Discord. The official PrizePicks Discord is where you can go and cast your vote. So just to pull it back up on the screen for you guys. I don't know if you guys are on like a mobile Discord app, but I'm on the desktop version on my PC here. And the voting is favoring Paul George from 24.5 down to... All right. I'm going to take the under on Paul George's original line at 24.5. Let's put in an entry here. I got too many New York Knicks, Utah Jazz props. I kind of want to get rid of some of these. Like narrow this down a little bit. I think I'm going to stick with Jared Vanderbilt, though. His PRA at 18.5. I'll take Julius Randle's rebounds at 8.5. Skip Vanderbilt? You want me to skip Vanderbilt? I don't know, man. Knicks are giving it up to small forwards. You want to go under on Luka's PRA? All right, I'll take the under on Luka's PRA. We'll leave. Who do we want to leave off of here? Conley at 7.5 assists, Markkanen at 7.5 rebounds, Randle at 8.5 rebounds, or Vanderbilt at 18.5 PRA. Who do we want to leave off of here? Out of that game. Ooh, Vanderbilt been mid for me in fantasy. Oh, really? Damn. Well, he's got a good matchup tonight against the Knicks. All right, you want to leave him off? We'll leave Vanderbilt off. That's two of y'all saying leave Vanderbilt off. Somebody was saying take Luka under PRA. We'll do that. I'll take Luka under PRA. Let's build out a 5-pick real quick. I'm taking Paul George under 24.5 points and Luka under his 50.5 PRA line as well. Somebody saying Dinwiddie over 17.5. Can we check Brunson's points? Jalen Brunson's points. Man, I got too many props from that game already as it is. But yeah, he's at 18.5 points going up against Utah tonight. Where we got Brunson at? Brun Diddy. He's at projection of 20.5. All right, he's at 19.5 and 20.5 points on most sports books. So we'll take Brunson. I'm going to leave, shit, man. Shoot. That's a lot of value on Brunson at 18.5 points. I ain't mad at that. Should we leave Markkanen rebounds off? Conley assists? I'm going to stick with the Conley assists. Let's, who was it? Jalen Brunson points at 18.5. Good value on that. You guys are saying Dinwiddie over 17.5. That's right. We did talk about some Ja Morant. All right, you want to leave Luka off? We'll leave Luka off. So we got Conley over 7.5 assists. Julius Randle over 8.5 boards. I'm taking PG under 24.5 points. Under on the original, being that the taco's being voted on. Brunson points plus assists. Slightly better. I don't know if we're getting quite as much value. We're getting 1 to 2 points of value on Jalen Brunson at 18.5. I mean, he's at 19.5, 20.5. On pretty much every book, every site. Dump Laurie? I did dump Laurie. He gone. Laurie gone. Sabonis. PRA. Guys are saying Clarkson first half. I'm not going to put any first halves in this. I want full game. Dump Conley for Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie points? I don't trust that guy, man. This is going to be a low-scoring game, folks. I want to keep reminding you, 212 points between these two teams. 7-point spread. Could turn into a blowout. All right? I don't want to take too many overs from this game. Shit, I don't want to take any overs from this game. That's why I'm taking Paul George under 24.5. I'm just thinking it's going to be too many overs from this game. I kind of want to go Ja, man, at 28.5. We talked about him. Either that or Ja's rebounds at 5 look pretty nice. Without Bane, he's hit 5 or more rebounds. Ja against New Orleans. No Desmond Bane. What has he done in his career against the Pelicans? Let me look at that, man. Ja Morant points versus Pelicans logs. 21, 24, 22, 12, 28. Man, he's never went over 28.5 points in his career versus the Pelicans. Hell no, I can't do that. Maybe his rebounds have a better chance. He's had 4, 8, 9, 3, 7, 3, 5, 1, 3. Ooh, sheesh. Not feeling so great about Ja Morant now at that 28.5 point number. Ja Morant PRA. We could look at it. What's his PRA line at today? 42.5. He's only went over his PRA one time in his career versus the Pelicans. 43. But he is 4 for 5 in the last 2 seasons. Games played without Desmond Bane covering his points at 28.5. The rebounds, he has hit 5 or more rebounds in every game in which Desmond Bane has been. I'm going to go with the rebounds on Ja because he's at least hit rebounds against the Pelicans in 4 games. That's better than 1 on his PRA. That's better than no hits on his points at 28.5. I'm going to take the over on his rebounds. He's been rebounding well. He's hit 5 or more boards, 4 straight games. He's 5 for 5 in the last 2 seasons in games played without Desmond Bane. I know he's at 5.5, being bet under at 5.5. Maybe it ties. Maybe it pushes. If it does, so be it. All right, let's just go with this. Conley over 7.5 assists. Randle over 8.5 boards. Paul George, I'm going to go less on the 24.5 points. Jalen Brunson for more than 18.5. Somehow I still ended up with 3 Knicks and Jazz props in my line. And then Ja Morant over 5 boards. Do I think that the Jazz cover the spread over the Knicks? What is it? I forget what it's at. 5.5 or something? 5? I don't know, bro. That's a tough one. That's a tough one, Sarab. I don't know, bro. Man, I kind of want to drop one of these Knicks Jazz props. I kind of want to drop one of these Knicks and Jazz props for like a Sabonis prop, maybe Sabonis assists. He's just been hitting those assists, man. Domantas Sabonis assists with Kings logs. Yeah, my man's been hitting it 5.5. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 out of 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 17 out of 25 is not bad. 17 out of 25 is not bad, and he's riding a streak of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 in a row. 8 out of his last 9, he's hit the over. Sabonis rebounds. D. Hirsch is liking the assist on Sabonis. Chris Raptor saying Sabonis boards. Could go there. I would really like Sabonis' rebounds if I knew Nick Claxton was for sure going to be out. If I knew Nick Claxton was for sure going to sit tonight. Brooklyn giving up 17.1 rebounds per game to centers. That's not looking too shabby. That's not looking bad at all. That could be a move. That could be a move, gang. Rebounds plus assists. Where's Sabonis at today? 17.5 rebounds plus assists. Let's look at this. Rebounds plus assists. Rebounds plus assists. Sabonis. 17.5. He's even at 18.5. All right. He's at 18.5 on FanDuel. All right. Let's do that then. Let's do that. So who are we taking off then? Mike Conley, Julius Randle. Those are my votes. One of those guys. Do we want to keep Conley's assists at 7.5 or Randle's rebounds at 8.5? Get rid of Randle or keep Randle? I don't know what you're saying, Jose. Let me know. Who are we getting rid of? Randle? So you're saying maybe get rid of him? Put like Sabonis in there for 17.5. Oh, keep Randle. All right, all right. So get rid of Conley. Keep Randle's rebounds in at 8.5. Damn, some of y'all are saying get rid of Randle. It's RJ's team now? I don't know, man. RJ Barrett stinks. All right, I'm going Paul George, less than 24.5 points. I gotta make an executive decision here. Jalen Brunson, over 18.5 points. Ja Morant for more than 5 rebounds. For those of y'all questioning the Ja Morant play, I'm going to just show you again. I'm going to show you again why we're going Ja Morant for rebounds. Games without Desmond Bane. Ja Morant has hit 5 or more rebounds in every game without Desmond Bane. 5 for 5 at 5 or better. So maybe it ties, maybe it pushes. Maybe it ties, maybe it pushes. But that's why we're going Ja Morant for 5 rebounds. 5 or more. 5 games without Desmond Bane. Randle, Sabonis. We got at 17.5 rebounds and assists. I like his assists. He's in a great rebound spot. Man, he should crush that. He should get that. And we're getting a point of value. FanDuel's got him at 18.5 rebounds plus assists. Brunson at 18.5 points. You guys are saying check the Discord. Wow, Luka's at 16.21. Paul George is at 16.19. I voted for Luka. I mean, this is about as close as I've ever seen a vote, gang. You see this down here? I think you guys can see this. Yeah, right down here. Right above my little banner, you can see how the votes are going. Over 1,620. Oh, man, it is so close. This is neck and neck. Voting ends in about 30 minutes. And we're at virtually a tie between these two guys. It's a virtual tie. Crazy, crazy. This is the closest vote I've ever seen. All right. Well, let's wrap this stream up. I've been on here way too long. I'm going with Randle over 8.5 rebounds. Sabonis over 17.5 rebounds plus assists. Ja Morant for over 5 boards. We're going Jalen Brunson over 18.5 points. And I'm taking Paul George under 24.5 points. I got 25 on it. If it hits, we go for 250. Listen, you guys be responsible with your money. Be responsible with your bankroll. If there's a pick on here that you disagree with, please don't just tail it and take it blindly. We've looked at all of these. I think for the most part, all of these pretty in-depth, pretty thoroughly. I feel pretty decent about all of these. Some of you guys recommended a couple of these, like the Sabonis rebounds and assists, the Brunson points. But I think the other ones, are pretty good looks. But that's what I'm going with, man. I'm going with these 5 for $25. And if it hits, we'll be up to 250. That's what I'm going with. If you like it, take it. If you don't, do what you want, man. It's your money, all right? It's your money. At the end of the day, you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, why did I pick that? Don't do it just because I'm doing it, all right? Use your brain, silly. Anyway, gang, I'm getting out of here, man. Good luck. Y'all go vote. Go to the official PrizePicks Discord. Make sure that you vote. Like I said, giving away a free entry every single day. Tell a family member, tell a friend who plays on PrizePicks to tune into the show. Make sure they're subscribed. Make sure they've liked. Make sure they comment once the replay of this show goes up on YouTube. Comment your favorite prop, your favorite pick of the day. Maybe you'll help out a friend. Maybe you'll help out a fellow viewer. Maybe you'll help out somebody who's subscribed to the channel. They'll see your pick, they'll tail it, and they'll win big, all right? But if you do those 3 things, subscribe, like, and leave a comment, I'm going to give away a free entry on PrizePicks, 2-pick power play to score $100. You guys are looking for promo funds. I see you out on Twitter. Where's the promo? Where the airdrop? Here's your opportunity, all right, to get your hands on something. Tune in every day. Do those things that I mentioned, and you'll get automatically entered in to win one of those free entries, all right? Catch you next one, guys. Good luck tonight. Don't go too crazy. We got more games tomorrow. Never forget that. We get to do this every day. Peace.